So another very exciting script was just released the other day from the lead developer of Siril called Automatic Multi-Session Processing, AMSP. Again, it's a new Python script that completely automates the entire pre-processing pipeline, giving you a registered, calibrated, and stacked image at the end without you needing to sort your data into specific folders in your working directory, like the darks, flats, biases, and lights, like we have to do when we use the serial scripts, such as the OSC pre-processing script. This is all drag and drop. You just bring your files in, doesn't matter where they're at on your hard drive. As long as it has the proper information in the FITS header, everything will work just fine for you. Any image acquisition software that's worth its weight will have the proper information in the FITS header. One thing to keep in mind though, because of the FITS header requirement, this will not work for raw data that came out of a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. For example, my Canon M50 produces a .cr3 file. I would still have to use the traditional way, whether that's a serial script with those organized folders to stack, or do it manually. There's no header information in those raw data files that will allow the script to get the information that it needs to be able to properly calibrate, register, and stack your image. So let's check it out. My name is Rich, and you're watching Deep Space Astro. Okay, as always, to install the script, you come up into Scripts and then Get Scripts, and we're going to search for AMSP. Select it over on the right-hand side and then click Apply. From there, we'll go back up into Scripts and then Python Scripts, Preprocessing, and then AMSP. So I'm going to go through a few different examples that you can use the script for, starting with the simplest, and that is just taking the data from a single session from one single night, and you have your lights and all your calibration frames. So you have your darks, your flats, and your biases, or instead of biases, your dark flats. With traditional scripts that we've been using, like the OSC pre-processing script up here in the serial scripts menu, we always had to build our working directory out like this. So we have a folder for biases, darks, flats, and lights, and the respective files in each of those folders placed inside of them. Now with this new script, we don't need to worry about folder structure. All we need to do is just drag and drop our folders over. So in its simplest form, I'm actually gonna go up one level here, and I'm just gonna grab my Sunflower Galaxy, which is what we just had open, left mouse button click, and drag and drop, and it'll automatically sort everything out for me. You can see on the top, it shows M63, night of with the date, lights. It says no filter because there was no filter information in the FITS header of the lights. If there was, it would say L Extreme or whatever filter was written into that attribute. The next one is subs, and you can see over on the right here, it says that there's 40 of them. I can expand that and I can see there's my 40, and over to the right, it shows me my dimensions as well as the date and time that the particular image was taken at. The next line down is our calibration section. It's showing me my flats, again, with the pertinent information. If we expand the subs, I can see I have 50 subs. Below that are my darks, the same thing, 20 darks that it's showing me. And then my biases, I have 50 biases. So like I said, in its easiest form to use this script for just a single session from one single night, drag and drop everything over and just hit go start pre-processing. It's all you need to do. One thing to know is as it is going through and processing everything, it's going to create a directory called serial_AMSP with a random alphanumeric character set at the end of it. This folder is created on Windows in your temp directory. As you can see up top here, it's in C users rich S. Rich S will be different for you, obviously. App data, local, and then temp. And that's where all of the, we'll call them temporary files, are residing. So as it's registering and calibrating the images, that's where it's putting everything. When it's done and it creates our final stack, we'll come back and I'll show you, but this folder will be completely gone. So what you're seeing here is what we're used to seeing in the process directory when we use the serial scripts, and we're always left over with files that take up drive space that we always have to go back and clean up ourselves. This script will do the cleanup for us. So I'm going to pause the video, and when the stack is complete, we'll come right back. Okay, pre-processing and the stacking has completed, and let's jump back over into this temp directory. And if I go back up one and just refresh, you will see the serial directory that we were just looking at is gone. It's no longer in here because the script cleaned up all of those extra files. When it's done with the stack, it loads it automatically into serial for you. You can see in the top right corner, here is the file name. And if I just minimize this and come out of linear and go into auto stretch, there's my Sunflower Galaxy. Now, where it saves this depends on one of two things. My current working directory is D sessions edgehd ngc 7635. And obviously the home directory is set using our home button here. That's fine. So for this example, that is where it saved this file for me. So if I come over into my 7635 directory, there's my completed stack right there that is currently loaded in Siril. The other way that I could have done that, if we come back into the script here, is down here under output directory. You can see it says Siril working directory. That's what I just showed you. If you don't set it here, it's going to use Siril's working directory when it creates the stack for you. If you want to specify an output directory for the script to always use, because it will remember this, you can just click your browse button. And in this example, if I come over to my sessions folder under edgehd, I have a folder that I created called AMSP. So if I select that one, you can see it says AMSP. If I was to hit go again, it would create my final stack in my AMSP directory. So either way is fine. Just wanted to point it out to you. We do have some additional settings here with the wrench button. The first is background extraction. So this will go through and it will do a background extraction on each of your images that you've provided. So background extraction is there if you need it. It's not a requirement. You would use it if you had strong gradients that would vary from frame to frame in your images. Distortion correction is on by default, and that'll plate solve the reference frame of each sequence and generate a WCS distortion model, which is a .wcs file, and then it'll pass that model onto the register command during pre-processing. And what it does is just correct for optical distortions in your image if you need it. So it can come in handy with wider field setups where you notice those optical distortion at the edges of your images. Use nearest flat. If a session doesn't have any flat frames for any given filter, the script will look across other sessions to find the master flat for that same filter that was taken on the closest date. You could use that if you image across multiple nights, and that way the flats taken on one night will cover the other nights within your session. And last is drizzle integration. This is replacing the standard interpolation that is usually used during registration with a drizzle algorithm. So as long as you dithered while you're imaging and you want to recover some sub-pixel detail, then that would be reasons to drizzle. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at a few other things that the script can do for us. So I am going to collapse my calibration frames just so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to leave M63 in place. Another thing worth noting is if you don't have, if I just shot lights, for example, if I was using my C-Star, then I would just drag my lights in and it would work. It doesn't require calibration frames. Obviously, it uses them if you provide them, but if I didn't provide flats, darks, or biases, or any combination of the three, it'll move through and stack the image for you without any of those calibration frames that you didn't provide. The other thing the script can do for you is stack multiple sessions of different objects. So M63, again, the Sunflower Galaxy, we'll leave that in place. And let me just move this over here so you guys can see my folder structure. If I come into M45, and I'm not going to drag everything over. I just want to show you guys how you can do multiple objects. So, and also so the script will run faster for me. I'm just going to come into my lights. I have 808. I shot this with my Hyperstar. They were 30-second exposures. That's why there's so many. So if I just grab a subset of these and then drag and drop those over, you can see it brought in M45 with the 19 subs that I just dragged and dropped. M63 is still there. And now if I come down and say, go start pre-processing, it's going to do the same exact thing it did last time, but it's going to stack my M63 for me, and it's going to stack my M45. It's going to do those two functions separately, and when it's done, I'll be able to open up my AMSP folder that I specified as an output directory, and both of my stacks will be in this folder here. So again, I'm going to pause it, let it finish, and come right back and show you what we got. Okay, so the stacking has completed, and you can see in my AMSP folder, I have two stacks, one for M45, one for M63. So I could either drag and drop the stack right into Siril and open it that way, or I can use the open button. Now keep in mind, we set our output directory to AMSP, and our Siril home directory is sessions edgehd ngc 7635. So when I click open, that's where it's going to take me, and I need to change that to my AMSP so I can open up that new stack. So just a matter of going down to wherever that folder was that you selected for your output directory, AMSP, and then we can open up like M63 right from there. So pretty cool. You can stack multiple objects from multiple sessions all at the same time. Load it up, walk away, and hope your computer can handle it. Some other things that you can do. So, for example, if you wanted to get rid of the subs for M45, you could simply just click on the subs folder and either hit your delete button or your backspace key, and it'll delete that data set for you. So let's clear this one out, and I'm going to delete my stacks in my AMSP directory. And let's take a look at doing multi-night sessions on one object. Okay, so for this one, this is a 3-night session of NGC 7635. And my first night, you can see I have my lights and my flats. And then the remaining 2 nights, I just shot lights because I'm set up in my observatory and I didn't tear anything down as far as the camera or anything like that goes. So my flats will work for all 3 sessions across all 3 nights. So just like before, I'm just going to take my NGC 7635 directory, drag and drop it right into the script. It'll automatically sort it out in the individual nights for me. Give me some stats. You can see I've got a total of 321 images across the 3 nights. 79 in the first, 164 in the second, and 78 in the third. And then under my calibration section, you can see that's where I have my flats. I'm going to come down into my settings and tick use nearest flat since I only shot it for the one night. Click OK. And then I need to bring my biases in. So if you know your offset value, you can use a formula such as what it's showing as an example here that equals 10 times the offset. I'll leave a link in the description that takes you to Ciril's documentation about figuring out what your offset will be so you can use a synthetic bias. But for now, I'm just going to use a bias master that I have. So this is my bias master file, and I'm just going to drag and drop it up top, and it'll bring it right in for me. So this will be the master bias that it uses to calibrate the flats. And I can do the same thing with a master dark file. I could drag and drop my master dark file over, and it'll use that as well. The other thing you can do is if you keep a master library like I do, so I have a folder called masters that has all of my master files in there. If I specify masters down here, hit select folder, now it knows where all of my external darks are. It knows where my dark library is at. And what's going to happen is it's going through the lights. It's going to look at exposure time and temperature, and it's going to find a matching dark master to use from my library for me automatically. So either way, if you have a library, specify it. That'll make things easier for you. If you don't keep a library, that's fine. Just drag and drop your master dark over. Or if you have individual darks, you just drag and drop those over like I showed you in that first example. So we are ready to go now. We have all 3 nights stacked in. I've got my calibration frame set. I got my master dark library set. My output directory is still going to be AMSP. And we're just going to click on Go Start Preprocessing. This one will take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video and we'll come right back when it's done. Okay, stacking of all 3 nights is completed, and just like always, it loads it right up in Siril for me. And if we come over into our output directory, the AMSP directory that we specified in the script, there's my final stack. Shows me my object name, the filter that I used, 319 300-second images stacked together at gain 125, offset of 30, temperature was minus 10 degrees Celsius, and the date. The last demonstration I want to give you, and I'm just going to delete this stack now so our output directory is clean, is how you can stack your mono data as well through RGB, SHO, whatever filters that you have, whatever you're using, some or all of those, the script can handle stacking them for you as well. Okay, so for the mono example, I am just going to show you what I have going on here, and we're going to do 2 sets. So I got M1 and I got IC 1805. IC 1805 is a single night, and this was shot in SHO. M1, however, was across 3 nights, and each of those nights was shot in LRGB. So we'll do the same thing that we were doing before, and we're just going to drag each of these folders over in their entirety. So M1 over to the script. So as you can see, it's sorted through and organized everything for those 3 nights. Again, M1 shot in mono with an LRGB filter set. So I'm just going to collapse that just to get it out of the way for now. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to grab IC 1805 and do the same thing. Just drag and drop it over. And you can see our single night and SHO has been listed up on the top. So now we have IC 1805 and M1. My masters directory is still set. And then I'm going to collapse this again. I actually have in my masters library master flats for this particular camera and these filters. So I'm just going to grab my red, that's my O3, that's my luminance, my HA, my green, my blue, and my S2. Drag those over. They come up underneath our pre-existing masters. And then I also need my bias. So I'm going to grab the bias for this camera, again, from my master library, drag that over. So now I have all of my data that I need for those 2 nights, 2 objects, the second object M1 being across 3 nights with all my calibration frames. Again, output directory is set to AMSP, and we're just going to say go start pre-processing and let it run. All right, so once the script is done, we can jump over into our AMSP output directory, and here are all of our final stacks. And keep in mind, we did 2 objects here. We did IC1805 and we did M1. So looking at the first 3, the IC1805, these ones right here, you can see the file name is prefixed with aligned, which means all 3 of these images are already aligned together. If we came down to the IC1805 down here, it's the same data, it's the same stack, but they're not aligned together. So the same thing goes for M1. We have the 4 aligned versions, and then we have the 4 unaligned versions, I guess you would say. Okay, so super cool, right? I think this is going to help a lot of people, especially the ones that have struggled with those darks, flats, biases, and lights folders. I hope you found the video useful. Before you go, as always, I want to say thanks to all my members here on YouTube and on Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate everybody's support. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member yourself. There's links down in the description for different ways that you can support the channel. You can either become a channel member, buy something from my merchandise store. I have affiliate links to companies like Agena, Astro, and High Point Scientific. They're all listed below. I get a small commission at no charge to you if you use them. Besides that, just simply leaving a comment, sharing, and liking the video helps just as much as well. So once again, appreciate everybody's time. We'll see you on the next video, and clear skies.